Horns up and welcome to a brand new episode of Headbanger's Kitchen. Till about 7 years ago, my favorite food in the whole wide world was a good beefsteak. Of course, after that I discovered the joys of duck meat in Bangkok and venison in the UK. But beefsteak is still my number 3. And today we're going to cook up a delicious beef tenderloin or filet mignon, and we're going to top it with a lovely herb butter. Now when I say beef, I mean water buffalo, guys, because in India we don't eat cow. But I've had some delicious beef outside of my own country, and I can tell you it's still my favorite go-to foods. So let's go and make that delicious beef steak, or filet mignon as they call it. We're going to start by making our herb butter, and I'm going to chop up some parsley and some tarragon. You can of course use any fresh herbs that you like. Then I'm going to take about 60 grams or 4 tablespoons of butter. I'm going to add in my fresh herbs, some freshly minced garlic, add a little bit of pepper, and then just give all of that a good mix. Now since I'm using salted butter, I didn't add any salt, but of course if you are using unsalted butter, salt is required. And that's it, our butter is ready. I'm going to use about a tablespoon of butter per steak so that you get a good amount of fat for your macros. Now it's time for the main event, the steak itself. Now I'm using tenderloin, or as some people know it, fillet or filet, however you want to pronounce it. And what I have done is I've dry aged the meat in my fridge for 2 whole days. And what that does is it really dries out the surface of the meat so that when you sear it on the pan it gets nice and crusty, and it also intensifies the flavor of the meat. So anyway, let's get on with it. Now take your steaks and make sure they are at room temperature before you cook them, otherwise the center will not cook to perfection. All I'm going to do is give it a quick spray of olive oil just so that the salt and pepper sticks on it, and then of course season with salt and pepper. Use whatever salt you like, Himalayan pink salt, sea salt, or even just normal regular table salt. It's all good. Next thing you're going to do is get your pan up on the highest heat possible, because you really want to get a nice crispy crust on the outside of that beef steak. Once it is smoking hot, just put your steaks on. Now, how do you like eating your steak? Do you like it medium, medium rare, well done? Well, normally you figure it out by feeling the steak, or if you're one of the more tech savvy chefs, you can always use a thermometer and check the internal temperature. But I use the rule that I saw from like Gordon Ramsay, where you hold it here and this is the bouncy feel means it's rare, this is like medium rare, this is like medium, and this is well done. I think that's it, and that's how you know your steak is done to your liking. So yeah, flip them over, flip those steaks over. Once your steak is done, you need to keep it to rest for a little while so that all the juices get sucked back into the meat and they don't run out when you cut it. Or well, they don't all run out when you cut it. So our steak has been well rested, and now I'm going to slice into it. Then I'm going to put that butter right on top. Oh yeah, that's a meal fit for a king. Steak with a delicious garlic and herb butter. Alright guys, so it's time to dig into the steak. And I did one like a little more on the rare side and one of them more on the medium side. And I'm just going to dig in. I love these end bits with the caramelization on them. Oh my god. It's like butter. Well, there is butter on it, but oh my god, I'm not kidding guys. Just if you eat steak normally, just dry age your steak once in the fridge for like a day or two, and you will tell the difference in the steak. The flavor is incredible, and whatever you do, don't waste any of the juices at any given point. I see my plate is full of these delicious, well, you can't see it, but there's some delicious juices here. Dip the steak in that. Now I did a little bit of variation on the normal technique I do. You know, I would normally baste the steak with butter in the pan itself, but today I thought it's just so much simpler for us on keto. Fry the steak to perfection and just pour that butter on top, and it's good to go. Yeah, like this is, it's like pink and moist, and with these juices, the steaks have never been higher, and I think I delivered today. Oh, dude, you guys, I really wish I could have had you over and made you eat the steak. Anyway, I'm going to go back to munching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please give it a thumbs up. Share it on your Facebook or on your Twitter or anywhere else that you use on social media. And I will see you on the next episode of Headbanger's Kitchen. And I'm going to do another beef recipe. Any guesses what it will be? Any guesses what it will be? I will see you next time. Cheers and keep cooking. Oh my god, this is like sinful. But that's how you tell if your steak is done to the delight. But that's how you will know the steak is done to your likeness.
Your likeness? You know what likeness means?
Yes. And
Steaks are looking like a human being.
And that's how you will know that your steak is to the doneness of your choosing. This juicy steak.